Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me for Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. A quick note about my tarot readings. They are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're sun, moon or rising Capricorn, this is for you. I always advise that you watch all three of them so that it gives you a more complete picture of how these speak to you, and more importantly, how I as a reader resonate with you. Which one of those signs is it that hits the mark for you. If you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. For those of you that are continued subbies, you know I love you for it. And please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Tower card, right? So all bets are off this week. Don't try to predict anything because the chances are you're going to be wrong. All right, what you need to do is keep it nimble, keep yourself on your feet this week, right? So you're going to need to be able to pivot should the need come up. And whatever information comes up for you this week, especially if it's something that feels like it's shattering a personal paradigm, be open to that, right? The Tower card as an experience, when you're having it at the moment, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. But in hindsight, it's usually very liberating or freeing in some way, shape or form. This kind of suggests that across the board, in some way, shape or form, this week is going to bring you an experience that you can't really anticipate. You just have to kind of approach however it shows up. For your actions and options, you have the 10 of Cups. This is you being very focused on the home, on the family, on your material experience. This is great. Something that you wished for or hoped for is about to start making itself known, especially when it comes to the home front. So this is great. For your communications and conversations, you have the 8 of Wands, right? So do expect some very shocking news to come, very likely to come from a distance over the course of this week. Now, this could be, for some of you, this could be somebody that is long distance family. So somebody that's family but lives in another country. It could be somebody that lives in the same country but, very, far away from you. So your 8 of Wands is messages, emails, text messages. It's big communication and a lot of it at that. Coupled with that Tower card, it tells me that this week there is going to be some shocking news that comes your way, and it may come from a family member or through a family member. Now, when it comes to your work, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, the feeling that I get from this is it could be your employer coming back to you to say, look, you know what, things are going through a massive shake-up here, and it is something that you are very likely to be experiencing because it's coming up in your cards, right? So it's just, this is, like I said, this is a week where you want to be able to pivot. For those of you that are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, or you own your own business, something that you have maybe tried to source from a supplier, you might find out that it's going to cost you more than you originally thought. What I will say is it's still a good option. It's just likely you're going to have to change something about it, or the time frame that you were hoping for on this is probably not going to go ahead. Remember, we do have a Mercury retrograde at this moment in time in the sign of Aquarius, so this is something that you want to be conscious of. And then for your come on brain, for those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, again, same energy. This is very shocking news that comes from a distance. Now, it might be something that you can help with, at best, but at the least, this is just about being a sounding board and offering whatever assistance you can. Sometimes just knowing that somebody is there for us to listen to us is enough. For your money and materials this week, you have the 9 of Swords. So not an easy card when it comes to finances, I have to say. And what I will say to you on this front Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, right? You've already got the 10 of Cups here, so something on the home front is going to be good. You have more options available to you, and possibly more avenues will open up for you before this one feels like a complete loss, right? So I don't know what that means to you, but hopefully it will speak to you in some way. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a week where you probably want to be looking after your arms, hands, fingers, that general area, and your wrists as well. And then finally, for your home and environment looks good. I will say this though, it does look like sleep is not going to come easy this week. All right, so just be aware of that. For your love and relations, you have the Star card, right? So some of you could be meeting somebody online, which is nice, right? And it could be as well that this person captures you at a time where everything else seems to be kind of up in the air. So this could be like a connection that's formed really quickly, but very likely to be, you know, over the airways. So internet, whatever. Now, one thing people tell me all the time, you're so harsh. You cannot, soapbox moment, I'm telling you now, you cannot be out here in 2020 last year and 2021 out here being catfished, right? This is rubbish. If you're out here being catfished in 2021, I have no sympathy, right? Everybody at this moment in time is glued to their phone. Right, you can talk to this person. If they can't spare 2 minutes to speak to you face to face so that you can see that it's actually them and they're not crazy and leading you on and some crazy person sitting in their parents' basement and whatnot, then you know something's wrong. All right, soapbox moment over. Just be sure of that. Remember, it's a Mercury retrograde. Now, for those of you that are partnered, it may be that something to do with either a family member, or you know, even on a professional level, pulls you away from the home this week, and you and your partner are, that's like literally the only communication that you can have is through phone, through FaceTime, through Skype, through Zoom, whatever. So you know, if you find that you and your partner are at odds this week because of any surprising situation that comes in, just be prepared for that, right? Find a way around it. So for your full moon message this week, we have the full moon. You have the Two of Swords. This week, you must trust your intuition. You will have an intuitive nudge, hit, or feeling about something this week that is almost strong to the point of annoying or nauseating. You must pay attention to it. The other thing with the Two of Swords as well, this is going to show you where either a connection or a collaboration is no longer viable. All right, so pay attention to that. This week, I kind of feel like you'll know anyway that the full moon is going to reveal something to you in a really big way, and it will see you kind of saying, yeah, you know what, I knew that was coming. Like, it's almost like whatever the big change is that's going to happen this week, you will know because you'll be feeling it intuitively. So that is your reading in a nutshell. I truly hope that it helps you or speaks to you in some way, shape or form. Have a great week. It looks like you're going to have an interesting week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.